Hello and welcome, everyone. You are in for a treat today. My friend and brilliant speaker and businesswoman, Lisa Sasevich, is with us, and she is going to share a little bit of what she's going to teach, communicate, model, demonstrate for us at Mastermind to Millions Live in Las Vegas. Lisa, thank you so much for making time to be with us today.
My absolute pleasure. I am so excited about this. You know it's my favorite topic. Masterminds have been such a turning point for my own career and are such a huge part of how we deliver value these days that, just a weekend basking in all of the brilliance of what they can do for experts, for coaches, for entrepreneurs, really for just about any service-based or expert-based business is about as fun as it gets for me.
I totally get it. And this event is going to be stellar and fun. So, and I think the vast majority of the world knows you. However, we do have people coming from Africa and United Kingdom and French Polynesia and all over God's green earth.
Wow.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty fantastic. So maybe if you could give us like the 3-minute version of your amazing business and how masterminds fit in that business and how you fill the masterminds. I mean, there's like 14 questions there, but let's start with the
Right?
high level.
And all in 10 words or less. Well, actually, I have come to the realization that there are a lot of people that don't know me, even though we do have clients in 134 countries. I started my business, I guess it's necessity is a mother of invention, but, I've done sales in corporate and sold millions of dollars for other people. And the first day I went out there on my own, like a lot of us do, with such great intentions to help the world and really made my own offer to buy my services, my coaching, my advice. It was like I was tongue-tied. I had sweat rings, showing in my shirt all the way down to my waist. It was not pretty, my hands were visibly shaking. And I realized that, offering your own work is a whole different ball game than selling for somebody else.
Is it ever?
And I realize that there's just a whole world of us, all of us here today that are doing what we do because we love it. We were made for it. We've done the purpose work. We want to make a difference. And, then we realize that we make that break to really devote our life to not having a double life, like you do one thing for money and something else that you care about. Like we all here are committed to doing that thing that we care about, making that difference and making money doing it. But the equation to be able to pull that off is really different than anything that we might have experienced working for someone else. So, I really set out on my own path, and really what we teach is how you can get out there and make your irresistible offer and sell high ticket and work with the people that are most committed, the clients that you're so excited because they are the most committed, they're the most invested, they take the most action, and they get the best results. And when you can crack that code, which is really what's going to happen at Mastermind to Millions Live, it changes everything. I think it's so my business, I started as a home-based business, and we still are. My kids are now 9 and 12, but they were a newborn and a 3-year-old when I started. I wanted to be, there for them and get my gifts out in the world. So it was like, how can I do that? I don't want to be on a plane 200 days a year, in the professional speaker model. That's not my thing. I want to give deep and lasting value. I want to take on clients that I can work with over time. And so fortunately, I happened to be in a live event where a mastermind was offered. And I went there saying to myself, well, I'm just going to, go for what I came for and implement that. I'm not going to do anything else. And before I knew it, I was filling out an application to join a year-long program. And thank God I did it. There were so many little moments where I could have said no, or I don't have the time, my kids are a newborn. And I mean, I had the best excuse of anyone. My kids are a newborn and a 3-year-old, right? Mm-hmm. My then husband was going through medical school. I mean, I was supporting us. If anyone had a reason to not do it, I did. But, I think what was on my side, Jay, was it was my 40th birthday month. And, I just, I felt that Michael was going to be graduating soon and become this heart surgeon, and life was going to get so easy. I wouldn't have a fire under me in the next year or two. And that's a whole nother story. But I had all these factors that somehow I was able to trip my own wire, even though I didn't have the money, I didn't have the time, but I had the desire. And I knew, and I think this is really what has all of you here, that there's a whole sea of people kind of just doing stuff incrementally. And then every once in a while, somebody breaks out. And I knew that that was me, that I was that person, that would be my headline, that I broke out. But I knew it wasn't going to happen just by doing the same old incremental little steps, adding a little bit here and listening to a free call over there and reading a book. And, I knew I had to do something more radical. And it was really amazing because my experience registering in the mastermind was that before it even actually started, I had recouped most of my investment.
Wow.
Like my brain started thinking in a different way, making that commitment to myself, just it turned on like brain pathways, ways of thinking and desire that were sort of just laying in the background, but making that investment of time and money, it just changed everything. And so I guess, my story that's relevant here is that the year that I personally invested in a mastermind, my business went from just about 6 figures, mostly coaching and giving my advice, consulting, but really had no personal time. I mean, my kids were in daycare a lot, and every new client meant I wasn't going to work out, or I would, 1 more hour of nanny or daycare. And so it became kind of, and some of you are there now, right? Not fun.
Mm-hmm.
And I registered in that mastermind, and I made a commitment to myself in a way that I had never, I don't know if anyone in my family had ever made a commitment to themselves like that level. And literally within 10 months, Jay, my business had skyrocketed from literally just about 6 figures, coaching one-on-one, to $2.2 million in sales.
That's
10
stunning.
months later.
So can I ask a Snoopy question?
What's that?
Can I ask a Snoopy question about that?
Of course.
What portion of 2.2 million was from your own mastermind that you then began to roll out, understanding and seeing its influence?
That's a great question. I bet you about $1.5 million.
Yep.
I bet you about $1.5 million. And I'll tell you, one of the things, like because I know we have a brief time together, that I just really want to inspire all of you to however inconvenient, whatever you have to do. You're a powerful creator. You are the author of your calendar. So I know that you can work out what you need to work out to be with us. Because you're going to have, myself, Justin Livingston, Jay, just some of the best minds on this topic together, just open-hearted and wanting to contribute and show you what we found. I think the biggest thing that I've noticed is, and one of the quickest lessons I learned, is that a lot of people say they want to have their own high-end group mastermind program, but they've never invested in one. It's like, so they want to get up there and pitch this $20,000, investment, but they don't really know what it feels like to clean out their IRA,
Mm-hmm.
To spend the money that was left to them by their mother or their father, to take a loan and bet on yourself. Like, I know for me, I actually invested at a very high level. It was a 6-figure investment. We did not have that. I don't come from money. And, it was loans and just all kinds of craziness to make that happen. And but the fire that it lit under me, and I'll tell you, 7 months later, Jay,
Mm-hmm.
I was standing on my own stage offering a 6-figure level to my mastermind. 7 months from when I did that, I was offering that level of investment to work with me. That's remarkable, and then that. Yeah.
Sorry, I just want to, because
okay.
I know you know a bunch of our program, but one of the elements of our program that we're going to dive into at Mastermind 2 Millions Live is the pillar of personal evolution. And really our grounding about personal evolution is this idea of we must have the context and the container to have the result or the experience ourselves before we ever have the right to be asking someone else to be or do that same thing. And my fervent belief is every single human being ought to be both in a mastermind and leading a mastermind, at least one. And just to be in the leading spot without actually putting ourselves in that other position is off purpose, incongruent, and ultimately doesn't work. We've got to lead first.
You know, it's funny. I was just in I was in Italy with 4 couples. You know, one of the things that having a mastermind has done is given me a really great abundance, and I love sharing it with great causes. So my friends and I had raised our paddle at a charity event and got this, 10-person villa in Umbria. And all of us are in the industry and, leading our own high-level group programs. And one person got a text while we were there that said, hey, I'm leading my mastermind this weekend, and I wonder if you have any great ideas for what exercises I could do that have made a difference. Now, we all knew that this particular person has never been in a mastermind. And it's a miracle that they even had the 4 or 5 people together for this weekend, really. And so we thought about it. We thought the most thoughtful reply was, we recommend you really draw from exercises that made a difference for you, where, in the places where you've made that high level of investment. That's what we do, because really I always say it's like having a baby. You can read all the books,
yep.
And you can ask everybody about it, and you can create your birth plan, and but until you are like there having that happen, you don't know anything about it. You just don't.
Hallelujah. And then they become 10 years old, and then I know even less.
And here we are again, not knowing anything about it again. But it's really like that. We can talk about it till the cows come home. And what I'm excited about all of us being together at Mastermind to Millions is, you're not the first person to do it. That's the beauty. You don't have to go out there and struggle and figure out how do I fill my room and how do I design my program and how do I, all the pillars that are part of this weekend that we'll share together. It's done. Why go out there and struggle and have to buy a program for room filling and a program for the offer and a program when you can come and have the whole thing laid out by people that are successfully doing it.
Exactly. And the amount of mistakes that I see people make on the most basic things of group dynamics and all of the rest of it is a whole nother conversation. Now, I have a question. Like most of the masterminds that I have led over the years and the conversion process has been led by quite significant intimacy. Like, I know what's going on for them. We have a meaningful relationship. They want to get closer and are willing to pay a significant amount of money for that. What is because I know you fill masterminds like from the stage, and you're charming and you're smart and you're witty and you're fun, all of those pieces. What is the way, or how do you handle this intimacy piece where people want to get closer and closer and closer when you're selling from the stage? Because it's one of the big questions that I can't wait to learn from you about.
Well, you're asking 2 different questions, because one is how do you create the intimacy when you are making your offer from the stage, and the other is how do you create the intimacy in a group program. So which one were you?
The first one.
I just want to make sure I answer
the first one,
okay.
because once we're in the group program, we teach that stuff really well. But getting people to get the application or get the credit card out and those things from the stage is like, I mean, honest to God, like that's a magic trick I haven't mastered.
Well, I'll tell you, I've had so many industry experts that, people that like I read their books 20 years ago when I was studying sales, that have called and said, Lisa, I made my offer from the stage and it didn't go well. Can I send you the last 15 minutes of my talk? I don't need much time. If you could just look at the last 15 minutes, Lisa. And I said, the answer is in the question here, Grasshopper. I actually need you to send me the first 15 minutes. And, a lot of people that think about making their offer get so focused on, well, how many weeks is it going to be? And is it a teleseminar? Is it a live event? Should I do webinars? Those are the questions I get. Mm-hmm. We call all of that service delivery. And that's actually not the place you need to be focusing to create intimacy and make your offer from the stage and really connect. It's a part of it, but it's only a 10% part of it, where most people are holding it at like 90% importance.
Yep.
The 90% importance is really about being really clear on what is the transformation or the outcome that your offer is going to provide for people. One way to think about it is this: they're buying the destination, not the plane. And we get up there and we start selling the plane. Well, it's a year long and there's 12 calls and you're going to get 2 private coaching sessions, and they don't give you private coaching sessions in the other mastermind down the street. And we get all wrapped up in the plane, the mechanics. But what people want is they want the destination. They want to be a best-selling author, or they want to be, a person who is helping people all over the world from home using teleseminars and webinars, or they want to have their own tribe of highly invested, highly committed clients. Fill in the blanks. They want to have the relationship of their dreams, or the health that they know, is inside them. So you fill in the blanks for what each of you do, but that's where you want 90% of your focus to be, and you need that right from the beginning. And then you ask yourself secondarily, okay, if the promise, if the outcome is to have, your own tribe, your own mastermind, then what do I need to put together to deliver that? Well, okay, I need a year, I need a call a month, it doesn't need private work, it does need, that's like a secondary question when you're making your offer. So I ask for the first 15 minutes because I want to hear, are they positioning the transformation right from the beginning, that destination? Also, how are they positioning themselves? It's one thing to share with you, for example, that we have been an Inc. 500 awarded company, like fastest growing privately held company in the United States, 2 years in a row from home, right? With 2 toddlers in tow. That's a credibility builder, right? Then there's the other side of it is how hard it was, right? Like the truth about trying to support my then husband through medical school, becoming successful coaching, but then not seeing my kids, kind of backfiring on me, things that people can relate to. So what I'm looking for in that first 15 minutes that's going to make all the difference for that intimacy when you do make your invitation is I'm looking for positioning. I'm looking for positioning of yourself, positioning of your credibility, your vulnerability, positioning the transformation. What is that outcome that people keep listening to you to have?
I love that answer because pillar one of our 6 modules that we're going to cover at Mastermind Communities Live is called perfect positioning. And we talk about it from the positioning of them as the leader of their tribe, the outcome, result, or network that will come as a part of that will come as a result of participating in the mastermind, and then the positioning of the ideal tribe member and who is a perfect fit for this intimate and powerful community. So there's a foundation there, but to translate that into a stage presentation, which is what you're going to be teaching our crew to do in Vegas, that's stunning, and I cannot wait to see that in action and to learn as much as I possibly can.
Well, I'll tell you, I really would not be on this call if I didn't wholeheartedly believe that, showing up matters. I used to be someone that was pressing my nose against the glass, listening to free calls, trying to get the cliff notes from people who attended a course and all those things. And there's just so much that unless you show up, you commit yourself, you get out of your day-to-day environment, and you actually get to look behind the glass, like behind the curtain. There's so much that you just, even if you saved like every one of Jay's emails and try to figure out how does he fill his event and let's get his mastermind application and reverse engineer it. And there is so much that you would never, ever understand because you can't see what he's not doing, which is a whole piece of why you need to be in a collective environment like that. There's, so much of what we do with we've had over 500 graduates from our masterminds called Sales, Authenticity, and Success Mastermind, also known as the Sassy Mastermind. We've had over 500 graduates over the last 5 years. And you know what? One of the biggest things people get, I think in any setting like this, is what not to do, right? And you can save every one of the person's emails and try to copy their sales page and everything that they do, but you will never know all of the things that we curb each other, give each other a leg up, save each other so much in time, money, and energy in the context of a mastermind, with a great mentor.
Well,
and speaking of that, go ahead.
No, I was just going to echo the beauty and the strength of this event and masterminds in general is that idea of coming with that, for lack of a better term, just all in, let me soak it up. And it is the intimacy and the authenticity that happens I think sometimes those little bit smaller environments where just a sentence or two from a couple of people is worth six figures. And that's the
Mm-hmm.
thing that, we talk about this mastermind to millions, and I always say, add six figures to your bottom line. And people question that, but it's like, until you're actually in that process and applying and engaging, you don't know. Going back to your note of what's a good exercise, lady.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's like I used to do a lot of work in my earlier years with Landmark Education. They teach great personal development courses, and they had this distinction called, there's people on the court and there's people in the stands, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep.
the fans in the stands are yelling down, "You should have made this play, and why didn't you do that?" Right? And then there's the people like on the field, on the court, the ones actually making the plays, and you can live a life in the stands, like the armchair warrior, right? Or you can get out there on the court. And if you really look, I don't know, I saw some statistics from years ago, less than like 4% or 6% of people are making more than six figures. And
Mm-hmm.
here so you want to put yourself purposely into a room and an environment with teachers and mentors and participants that are doing that. It's a small percentage of the population. And when you can just find an easy ticket to say, I want to come and bask in that, that vibration, that frequency, for this 3-day period, it's a very smart thing to do.
Yeah, brilliant.
So I wanted to, Jay, I hope this is okay. I'm just going to take a little chance here, but for any of you that really just want to make that commitment and join us at Mastermind to Millions Live, December 4th through 6th in Vegas. I'm excited. I'm going to be teaching you about how to structure your irresistible offer when we get there, and also the exact steps to put together the presentation that leads to that offer. So whether you want to use it on teleseminars, webinars, live stages, that you have the structure to be able to do that. If any of you that want to jump in and get your ticket now to Mastermind to Millions Live, I would like to, Jay, and you'll just have to let me know who the people are. You and I can work that out on the backside. But
Yeah, Josh will
I
take
have
care
a
of the link,
series.
so that'll work perfect.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have a little series for those of you that jump in and come and see us, be with us, just to tell you, to acknowledge you for giving this gift to yourself, because it really is something that you have to give to yourself. It just, to make a difference, you have to give it to yourself. It's called the Mindset Behind the Money Action Series, and it's a series of videos that I made. They're really brief, 10 to 15 minutes each. There's 5 of them, and I made this for my own high-end mastermind initially. And it's really it's getting your head in the right place before you make your offer. And that's 90% of the game. If your head is in the right place, and we give you the different 5 different places that you want to be thinking about, and you can listen to any one of them before you go make your offer. Kind of keep it in your toolkit.
Mm-hmm.
So it's called the Mindset Behind the Money Video Action Series. And again, I made it for my own high-end clients. I would love to contribute that to any of the folks listening today that want to jump in and secure their seat to be with us live in Las Vegas.
That rocks. And I mean, you said it yourself in terms of the beginning of your very first presentation is that you were all nervous and, sweating and all the rest of it. So I fervently believe that the vast majority of this process is where we're coming from. So they get mindset to the money as soon as they register using the link on this page below. So that's the only way we're going to know that it came from this process, gang. So make certain that you just click the button below this little recording, and you will get, of course, your seat into the event, and you will get a bonus, which is Mindset Behind the Money. That's brilliant. So, Lisa, I want to say thank you so much for number one, being with me today. Number two, coming and serving and supporting our tribe and our community. We have a unique and amazing event coming in Vegas that is going to really make launching your mastermind as turnkey, as follow the steps, as connect the dots as possible. And I want to just emphasize, I know there's lots of people, it's like, well, I'll just watch it online. Most of my tribe has listened to me and they know that I curse. So let me just say it very clearly, which is this: get your ass to Vegas. It is. It's the cheapest flight in North America. It's the cheapest hotel in North America, and it is the highest level support you will get in the world on this topic. So
So true. So true.
figure out
And
a way.
for those of you that just are like really fast, you're like, great, I'm coming to Vegas and I want to dig in right now, Lisa. I hear what you're saying. I got some stuff on the table that literally between now and Vegas I could close some deals. I also just wanted to offer up, if you want to get started learning about irresistible offers, just jump on over to boostyoursalesbook.com/J. That's how we'll know to just instant download straight from J. Boostyoursalesbook.com/J. It's a bestseller that that I wrote on literally how to make your offers, how to structure them, and you can do that as some advanced work, kind of like pre-work to Vegas, and that's really for all of you today. So I'm excited to get there, to be at Mastermind to Millions Live. I love the whole cast that you've put together. It's really the best in the world. If I do say so myself.
And you're right, just to be clear.
You're going to see that there's so much, not just so much you're going to learn, but so much you're going to learn that you don't need to be messing with. And that alone is going to be the value, such a huge value to your life and your lifestyle, which for me, is a huge, huge piece of why I do what I do the way I do it.
Stunning, stunning, stunning. Love it. All right. Thank you, my dear. And for those of you still sitting on the fence, it's Lisa. It's me. It's Justin Livingston. It is Gita Nat Carney. It is a collection of brilliant people all doing stunning work in this space. So come join us. Get over the hassle and get on the court, and we'll be happy to support you. Lisa, thank you again for being with us. I truly, deeply appreciate it. And we will see you soon in Vegas.
All right. Vegas, baby.
All right. Bye-bye.